congruent angles and parallel lines. So, remember last unit where we did a proof, but it was an algebraic proof? So it was like, here's this equation, step 1 be like addition property, right? Step 2 was something else, step 3. Okay, so proofs are a big part of geometry, but they're really difficult. So we're going to ease our way into proofs, okay? So our definitions today are reasons, just like how we did before. We're going to talk about it a little bit, and then we're going to work on the algebraic part of it. So if you guys have your cheat sheet I gave you last time, go ahead and get that out. Jackie, you need one?
I forgot it on.
Chris, everyone has to edit that cheat sheet is like your life.
Yeah.
That's a cheat sheet. You know where it is at home? You can get it.
No, I know where it is at home.
Mm-hmm.
It's on my desk.
Alright, well for today, use fine.
No, why are you making fun of me? You're not.
Was I laughing at you?
Yo, shut
I
up.
wasn't.
You want to fight?
Alright, use it for today, even though you may not be able to see much on it. Alright, so if two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, then 4 things can happen. These are our 4 angle relationships that we've already learned. So we know that corresponding angles are congruent. This is called the corresponding, and don't complain about how much you have to write.
Interior.
No, corresponding angles postulate. You don't know that word yet, but you will. Okay, so for now, these are just your reasons why 2 angles are congruent if they're cut by a transversal. Just write it down.
Why is it so hot?
Because I'm
Every day, someone complains that it's too hot or too cold, and it'll kick on when it gets to a certain temperature.
I got lights or stuff like that.
All right, let's refocus.
looking at you, but
Sam, let's refocus. Alternate angles.
You're taking some pills, bro.
Ooh, shit.
My bad, my bad.
Alternate interior angles are congruent. This is called the alternate interior angles, and it is a theorem. Theoren. So when you guys see these words again, when we practice our proofs, you won't be super confused. All right, alternate exterior angles are also congruent. So it is called the alternate exterior angles theorem. The last one is consecutive interior angles, or also same side interior angles. We call it either thing. Be careful of shaking this, whoever's moving their feet. So consecutive interior angles are supplementary. What does supplementary mean? 2 angles that add up to equal what? 180. You guys have to know that. You must know it. So this is called the consecutive interior angles theorem.
Say that again.
Consecutive, oh man, word got messed up. All right, let's pause for a second. Consecutive interior angles theorem.
Yeah.
All right, the last part we should know. Back to our vocabulary. Chris, vertical angles. Are they congruent or are they supplementary?
Congruent.
Good. Vertical angles are congruent. Vertical angles are directly across from each other. They're opposite each other. And linear pairs are supplementary. A linear pair means two angles on a straight angle and they equal 180. Okay? So we're going to practice. You guys have this down? Yes. I'm going to write too fast, so just slow me down. Alright, it says let's practice. Example 1. Given the measure of angle 6, which is 140 degrees, find the measure of each missing angle and name the angle relationship. Full disclosure, you will see this again. Okay? You'll see it again like in 2 days on your quiz. Alright, out of these 3 lines, which ones are the parallel lines?
The middle ones.
The middle ones, right? And how do I know that they are my parallel lines?
Because they have little triangles.
Yep, they have little arrows, okay? Those little arrows tell me that, well, they're triangles here, but they may be arrows. Tell me that those lines are parallel. So I'm going to highlight my interior. Let's go ahead and get into the habit of doing it. Alright, so I want you guys to write what I'm writing so I can make sure that you're understanding what we're looking at here. They told us that the measure of angle 6 was what?
140.
142. So you guys can go ahead and write that in.
It's off.
It's off. And
Come on. I didn't even do anything.
alright, hold on.
I swear to God, I didn't take it easy.
I know. It's just
just.
alright, fingers crossed. Let's try it.
Last time you kept.
Alright, so maybe a little bit smaller, but hopefully this works for us. Alright, angle 6 is 142 degrees. Guys, focus please. Alright, so from this angle, I can find every other angle on this page. But I can only do that if I know my angle relationship. So make sure you're going back and forth between your cheat sheet and your notes. Alright, so we're going to try to base everything off angle 6, but if we can't, it's okay. Let's figure out what I can do here. What about angle 1? What's special about angle 1 to angle 6?
It's on a straight line.
What'd you say, Miguel? Yes, they're vertical. So therefore, if it's vertical, that means that my angles are going to be congruent. What is the measure of angle 1? 142. Good. So you guys write that in.
Yeah, this thing.
All right, Chris, what's our reason for that that Miguel just told us? Because they're vertical angles. One and 6 are vertical angles. All right, let's look at angle 2. How can I figure out angle 2? You guys see that 2 and 6 are side by side?
Yeah.
Okay, if they're side by side, they're a linear pair, which means they both add up to what?
142.
What'd you say? Both angles add up to 142?
Nah.
If angles are side by side, it's a linear pair, right? A linear pair equals what? What's our magic number? I'll just guess. 180, thank you. So if angle 2 and 6 have to add up to give me 180, how can I figure out angle 2?
Add random number.
Add a random number?
Yeah.
Subtract 80 from 142.
Good, Brian. So we're going to do 180 minus 142. Everyone do it in your calculator. Don't just wait for the answer. The more you practice it, the more it'll be like second nature.
38.
Okay, make sure you all get 38. Chris, did you get 38?
Yeah.
All right, so angle 2 is 38 degrees, and what was my reason for that? What's the relationship between 2 and 6? It's a linear pair, good. All right, what's special about angles 2 and angles 5?
They're, I don't know what to call them. There's some number.
I'll be also really.
Yeah, they're vertical, good. So Sam told us that they're vertical, so what's angle 5 gonna be? Nope. It's vertical to angle, it's gonna be 38, good. So I can figure out that angle 5 is gonna be 38 degrees because it is vertical. Which angle number was that? Vertical angle 2, is it angle 2? Yes, it's angle 2. So it's angle 5 is vertical angle to angle 2. All right, let's look at angle 7. What's special about 6 and 7? What's that relationship? They're both in the inside, so look at your angle relationships.
Same line.
Same side interior, right? Or consecutive interior. So if you look at your paper, consecutive interior angles add up to what? Each other or add up to 180?
180.
So those two angles must give me 180. So how can I figure out angle 7?
And
We're going to subtract 180 minus 142, right?
yeah,
Which we already did. So what's angle 7?
38.
38. So if you guys realize, you can also have different relationships. Just because I have these, your numbers should be the same, but your relationships can be different because I could have said angles 5 and 7 were corresponding. Okay? But we're going to use our consecutive interior. So we're going to say consecutive interior angles.
I'm still seeing bone.
I know, it's fine. We're going to go around to them. Oh yeah, guys, make sure you're writing in the right angles. Since I have angle 7, I'm going to skip to angle 4. That's like the easiest one that I can see. What's angle 4 going to be? 38. Why, Brian? It's vertical, right? Vertical angle to which number? Angle 7?
Yeah.
Now we just have 3 and 8. What could angle 3 be? Okay, that's going to be 142. And you have two different options you can do. We have many options. Angle 3, we could say, is a linear pair. But let's compare angle 3 to angle 6 for this one. What's special about angle 3 and 6? They're both in the interior. What's that relationship? They're on the opposite side of the interior. You guys remember that term? They're on opposite sides of the interior. Look at your cheat sheet, Diana. It's easier.
Corresponding something like that?
No, not corresponding. What does it mean? Yeah, alternate interior, exterior. Interior. So we have alternate interior angles. 3 and 6 are alternate interior. So now I can figure out angle 8. What's that going to be? That's going to be 142. And because we've used vertical a lot, I'm going to change it. What's the relationship between angle 6 and angle 8? They're on the same side, same position. Corresponding, good. So it is corresponding. This is why I want you guys to have your cheat sheet handy so you can just look at it. Granted, on your test, you could do different things. You can make your angle relationship different as long as it makes sense. Any questions on the first example? Okay. Let's take a look at the second example. There are how many parallel lines here?
3,
So 1, 2, and 3. All right, so the measure of angle 5 is 82. All right, that's good to know. I'm going to look at angles 4, 5, and 6. They're on the same side, same position. What's that angle measure?
what?
4, 5, and 6. They're all going to be 82. How do we know? What's that relationship?
They're all same.
They're all corresponding. Okay, because they're in the same position and same side of the transversal.
Sounds really good right now.
But
McDonald's.
Not again.
I do not indulge.
Not.
All right, look at 7, 8, and 9. What's special about 7, 8, 9 in comparison to 4, 5, 6?
Same thing.
They're, well, you can't say the same thing. What's that relationship?
No.
According to angles.
Interior
So
circumference.
guys, look, what's the relationship between the yellow dot and the green dot? They're right across from each other. They're opposite each other.
Yeah. So they're
They're vertical, right?
yeah.
So if they're vertical, what's 7, 8, and 9? I thought you guys just told me that vertical was,
Oh,
right.
Oh. No.
Guys, don't just guess.
180.
Where are you getting 180?
I don't know.
Don't just guess.
Oh, congruent.
They're congruent, so it's gonna match angles 4, 5, and 6, right? So what's 7, 8, and 9? They're all 82. Chris, unless you have a straight angle, your answer will never be just 180 for angle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, a straight angle is that. All right, now do you guys see that, like, let me highlight this. 10, 11, 12, so the blue dot and the yellow dot create linear pairs, right? So those two numbers together have to equal 180. We already know that angle 4 is 82. How can I find angle 10? Chris, what are you typing in?
Put 82 plus 82.
Why would you do that?
Oh, no, you gotta subtract. My bad.
4 and 10 together, huh?
98.
How'd you get 98?
I subtracted.
So Chris subtracted 180 minus 82. Because angle 4 was 82. So therefore, angle 10 is 98. Are you guys seeing how we can answer all these
Yeah.
problems? And then we have the purple dots, which are vertical to the blue dots. So what is angles, what will angles 1, 2, and 3 be? They'll all be 98 because they're vertical to angles 10, 11, and 12. Any questions on example 2?
I'm probably gonna get through.
Yeah, we'll get through at least.
Why did I say my camera?
All right, example 3. Guys, focus. All right, here are my parallel lines. So my interior is here. Guys, make sure you're highlighting your interior. All right, so they told us, make sure you guys stay with me here. They told us that angle 12 was what?
121.
121 degrees. And angle 6 was
75.
75. Okay. Let's go through the easy ones first. I personally think finding your vertical angles is the ultimate easiest thing to do first. So let's find all my vertical angles and then go from there. All right, which angle can I name first? 1. Angle 1 is going to be what?
75.
75, all right? That's your vertical angle. Are there any other vertical angles?
7.
7 is a vertical angle, so that's also, oh, wait, it's not 75.
It's 1.
Thank you. It is 121. All right, was that angle 7? All right, so we got my vertical angles out the way. Now I'm going to look for my linear pairs. Linear pairs are the ones that are side by side that add up to 180. So-
14.
Huh? So let's look at angle 8. If angle 7 is 121, how can I figure out angle 8? Or angle 11, either one. Subtract it from 180. What do you guys get? So we did 180 minus 121 to give us,
59.
Yes, we
we get 59. You were doing the other one, right? Brian, we're almost there. Brian, you're a little ahead of us. All right, so let's do angle 11 is 59. What else can I mark as 59?
8.
Angle 8, because it is vertical to angle 11. So 8 is also 59. All right, we got those. Let's skip over to angle 10, okay? If you look at your cheat sheet, do you guys see that 6 and 10 are both consecutive interior angles? Okay, so that means that those two angles have to add up to 180. So what Brian did was he did 180 minus 75, right, Brian? And what'd you get? 105. So he did 180 minus 75, and he was left with 105. So angle 10 is 105. Those are consecutive interior. So angle 10, 105. Sounds my circles look like 6s, sorry. All right, what else can we do that's easy from angle 10?
9. No, 13.
13 is easy, that's gonna be what, Chris?
105.
105, good. So 13 is 105. All right, so now we can make a linear pair out of either 9 or 14. We do 180 minus 105, what do we get?
75.
75, so if angle 9 is 75,
14.
then 14 is 75, good. We're over halfway done. What was 7? All right, so now we have these ones at the top. So let's do angles 4 and 7. Because I know that these two have to add up to equal 180. How can we figure out what angle 4 is?
Subtract 180 from 121.
All right, do it. 180 minus 121. Don't just guess.
It's right there, 59.
You just said 159.
I'm at number 59. Yo, I thought that was 1.
It's from when I marked the paper. All right, so 59. If I know that angle 4 is 59, what do I know about angle 3? Angle 3 is 59 because of my vertical angles. So now we're left with 2 more. If you guys remember, and we kind of just said this too, anything on a straight angle, good, equals 180. So how can I figure out what that middle angle, angle 2 is?
Subtract both.
Good. So do 180 minus 75 minus 59. What are you left with? So angle 2 is 46, which means that angle 5 is 46. Good. You guys are getting that much better than I thought you would. It's really good. What I don't want you guys to do is say, oh, angle 11 looks like 59, so angle 9 must be 59 too. Like, don't ever say it looks like it's the same, okay? Because these angles are never ever drawn to scale. Almost never. Okay, so we're gonna get to a stopping point because we'll do this part, the last page after lunch. If you guys want to go ahead and get a head start on your homework, you can. You're not going to lunch right now. You have 5 minutes to lunch. You guys can do something quietly. Alright.
I'm gonna take pictures of the field.
Alright, so let's go back to this. If we look at our, you don't have to actually, no. Hold on.
This is not going to do this to me again. I know.
Alright guys, let me finish. The board's working for now, so let's not fix it. Okay, so let's take a look at this. You guys see that I've highlighted the interior, right? So look at your angle relationships. Those two angles are on the same side, same position. What type of angles are they?
Congruent.
Okay, you may not want to use a dark purple for a highlighter because now you can't read the numbers.
Yeah.
We'll just switch it out. You see all. All right, did someone say corresponding?
Yeah.
My angle relationship here is corresponding. So if you look at your cheat sheet, what does it say about corresponding angles? Are they congruent or are they equal to 180? Yours won't say it, Chris. They are congruent, so therefore they're going to be equal to what?
135.
No.
135.
If they're congruent, they're equal to each other, right? So this angle is equal to that angle. So we can do 135 is equal to 3x plus 50. Do you guys see how we use our angle relationship to figure out how to set this problem up? 15. Sorry. All right, Chris, what's the first thing to do? How do I solve this?
Decimals.
Okay, that's a good answer, but we're not doing decimals right now. If I subtract 15, what's 135 minus 15? Good. Brian, you're on your game today.
Yes, Barney.
All right.
Yes.
Now what?
No, it's one.
Divide by 3, Brian, what's my answer?
48. No, 40.
40, good.
Yes, Barney.
Make sure you guys have x equals 40.
Wait, it's the wrong bit number. So that's the answer?
That's my answer.
Yes,
That's light.
What's up?
Oh, no, never mind. I didn't give it the angle.
No, it's
This thing is just acting up. Hold on 1 second.
What happened?
He keeps calling her Diana Spam.
it's Diana.
Diana Spam.
All right, look at number 2. All right, I'm highlighting my interior. Don't use anything too dark.
I made a mistake.
All right, Chris, let's take a look at this. I have an angle here and an angle there. They're both on the interior. What could my angle relationship be?
Can I?
You don't have
The
it.
first one is 25.
We're gonna look at Brian's for a second. Guys, pay attention. We're looking for two angles, so Chris will give us two angles that are both in the interior. Right, what is it called?
Consecutive angle. I don't know.
Consecutive interior, okay? And they're gonna add up to equal what?
180.
Good. So Chris just told us that if I have two angles in the interior, they are consecutive interior angles. So therefore, both of these angles are going to equal 180. So let's write this out. We have 5x minus 25.
Equals.
Nope, not yet. I need to add both angles together. So plus 3x. Chris, are you good?
Yeah.
Plus 9 is equal to 180. Be sure that you are careful with this. 5x and 3x are on the same side. Am I allowed to do this?
No, ma'am.
Never, ever, ever. Okay, we are not subtracting on the same side. What you need to do is you need to combine like terms. So,
8x.
5x plus 3x is what, Chris?
8x.
8x. And then we have negative 25. You always take the sign before.
Plus 9.
Plus 9 is what?
Oh, shit. 25 plus 9.
Take that,
Negative
guys.
16.
Negative 16, and it still equals 180. Jackie, how do I solve for x now?
You add 16.
Good. We're going to add 16 to both sides. So I have 8x is equal to
196.
196. Be careful. Scoot your desk over a little bit so it doesn't hit this. All right, what's my x? 196 divided by 8 gives me what? 24.5.
Yeah, damn. No one cares if you want or do not want.
All right, your answer for our second example should be 24.5.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah, that was pretty deep. Yeah, dog. Dog. Dog.
All right, we have one more problem here. Now we have an x and we have a y. Guys, can you stay with me? We're almost there. All right, we have an x and we have y, so we're going to solve for both. What is special about this 83 degrees and my x degrees? They're side by side, so what kind of relationship is that?
They're
What'd you say? What you
corresponding.
said, Brian? Linear pairs, so they're both going to add up to 180. So I have x plus 83, which should equal 180. You guys tell me what's x?
1.
83.
No.
Oh, wait, hold on.
I need x plus 83 equals 180.
Minus 80.
Minus 83.
If you subtract 83, x equals,
103.
are you just guessing?
Yes, ma'am.
180 minus 83 is what? You guys have calculators?
97.
Thank you. It should not take 3 tries. Alright, so x is 97.
Yeah, dog.
That's half of our problem. Okay, so now we're going to look at my y's. I have this angle, and let's still look at my 83. They're definitely alternate, right?
Yeah.
They'd be alternate interior or alternate exterior? Exterior, because they're not inside the yellow. So look at your paper. Alternate exterior angles, are they equal to 0 or are they equal to 180?
180.
0.
Don't just blurt out wrong answers. They're equal to what?
0.
No.
No. 97.
They're congruent, so they're equal to each other. We're done with 97. Alright? The 97 has nothing to do with this problem. We're looking at the green circles. Okay, so 83 and y minus 13 degrees are alternate interior, which means they're congruent, which means they are equal to each other.
Quick math.
So you have 83 equals y minus 13.
So,
Oh my goodness.
Alright, Sam, solve this for me. What do we do?
Your assets.
Alright, so let's add 13 to both sides. Sam, what's my answer? 96. Okay, you guys should get x is 97, y is 96.
but then I gotta flip them.
That doesn't matter. Oh, y equals this. Alright, the last little bit here. What is the difference between a postulate, a theorem, and a corollary? we at least wrote down postulate and theorem earlier. We've not talked about corollary yet, but we will later down the road. So you're gonna write a postulate
Whatever it's called.
would be, postulates are accepted without proof. Theorems, just like if you have a theory about something, theorems are provable. And a corollary is easily provable. Chris, you ever just get tired of me saying your name? I swear you do.
I didn't do nothing.
Alright, so it is easily provable from a theorem. Guys, stop stomping your feet.
Big feet.
So a corollary or corollaries are easily provable from a theorem. Alright, that's the end of our notes. You guys did good. So your homework is day 2 homework because your quiz is next class. Do not come in here without your homework done before quiz. Adams are due on the 18th. Yes.